Hi, everybody. Welcome to the JQK Law Firm live weekly podcast and show where we take your questions live about U.S. immigration for general education purposes. We're live on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, where you get a lot of your questions. We try our best to kind of answer stuff to the best of our ability. Obviously, a lot of times we need to have a long conversation. Private consultation is needed because it's just private information. It's not something you put online, just like a lot of things that are important in life. But we're here taking your questions. We're here every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Daryl, one of our watchers, viewers, says hi. See you, Daryl. One of our regulars, good to see you. And 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern, Tuesdays. We're here to take your questions live. If you want to schedule a private consultation, you'll need to email us. The email is info@jqqlaw.com. Fees do apply, depending on the colleague and associate you'd like to speak with and what kind of issue you have. That's the best way to reach us. We only take phone calls from our existing clients right now. Oya Adobe says hi. How you too? Oye bede. I started watching this one show. I watched TikTok. There's clips of this one show where it's what's his name? It's like a white guy who falls in love and marries a Nigerian woman. It's Bob Loves Abishola, I think. It's a great show, and I think it's kind of a Nigerian client. So I see the truth. They got to have Nigerian writers on that show because I think it's close to what I experience to have with my clients. Hopefully it's correct and Nigerian people don't mind it. But I love watching that show. So I saw your name. I'm like, okay, good to see you. Thanks for watching the show. We're taking your questions live. They're starting to trickle in. We get a lot of questions a lot of times about timelines, how long things are. There's really no way to know. Every day, the new visa bulletin just came out. Liana says, hi, good to see you, Liana, or Lilhana. And the visa bulletin is essentially the line it takes for people to, get a green card for family and employment-based categories. And it's out of control. So if you're, for example, marrying a green card holder or a minor child green card holder, the timeline just got shot like crazy. It's far behind. For employment-based cases and other family categories, it's not even moving. So it's really it's impossible. No one knows. No one in the world, unless you're a prophet and you have some relationship with God, they can tell you what's going on. There's just no way to know what these timelines are going to be in this process. So give you a heads up. That's why if you ask questions about timelines, I gotta skip it because you have so many people ask questions and I can't repeat myself about these timelines. Raul says, hi, watch from DC. Thanks for joining us. So we got a first question from Keon. Keon says, hi, John. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. I have a couple of questions regarding my wife's F2A visa. Well, that's getting too much into it. We got to schedule a consultation. We'll see what we can do here. Our petition was approved October 2022. First of all, I came across information suggesting that the National Visa Center is currently scheduled interview appointments for F2A. Priority days, blah, blah. We would have, blah, blah. We get the point. We would appreciate your assistance confirming that's true. So this is the issue I was talking about, Keon. Your question kind of falls out of the maximum space that's here on this software. But the F2A category just went back 6 years. So, your case is not, they can't approve a green card for an F2A spouse or green card holder case right now. 3 months ago, it was current. All of a sudden, it went 2 years back, then 6 years, and it's still stuck in that 6 years right now. So this was really crazy because no one expected this. And I have a couple of cases right now where green card holders got married. We have to file their cases in the next 20 days or 22 days. If we don't, I don't know when necessarily we'll be able to do it next. The next visa bulletin came out. We filed the I-130, maybe adjusting the status a couple weeks afterwards. But it's a disaster. So if you are a spouse of a green card holder case, it was already backed up. I-130s were taking 2 years. But it's completely unknown when you'll be able to come. It's crazy that you marry a person who's in America, not a citizen, but a resident, and you just will never, you don't know how many years it'll take. And your name is Persian. Already you had 2, 4, 5 years baked in that cake because of administrative processing delays, getting interview delays. It's a disaster. I've had couples that were engaged that decided to break apart. I've had people in consultation when I told them this stuff. They just decided they don't want to be together anymore because how are you going to get in a relationship, wait 5, 6 years? Very frustrating. The families get frustrated. So that's a disaster. That is U.S. immigration, the way it's counted, everything. I wish there was some political will to at least change this category where if you're a minor child of a green card holder, spouse of a green card holder, or spouse of a citizen, they'll speed up the line where you come and stay in the United States. Now, they did this program partially for 4 countries in South America. And we have a question for Robert Hollander about this. What's the new family reunification program for certain countries? So for certain countries like Colombia, Nicaragua, El Salvador, and another one, I think if you go to USCIS.gov, it's there. They're letting you come to the United States, parole into the United States, to wait the process of getting a green card, which is tremendous. This is a tremendous situation that has developed. I wish it happened everywhere because we have so many people, like, where people like want to have kids, they don't have time, they can't get kids because they're living apart. It's crazy. So let's hope that's the case. But right now, unfortunately, Keon, go back to your original question. It's a terrible situation we're in. Daniel asked, I'm a green card holder. I didn't come to the U.S. in 4 years. Coming soon. Will I get any problems? Yeah, they could try to take it for that long as possible, or they just don't say anything. Robert, we asked that Raul or anyone who's watching, need to ask you that question. Just throw in your question. By the way, if you're interested in marriage or fiance visa cases, download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide. I have a guide. That's the best one out there. It's free. Go to www.marriageimmigrationlaw.com. That's marriageimmigrationlaw.com. And download the guide. You can learn a lot about it there. Lucy says, hello, John. I'm a tourist in the U.S. If I marry my fiance, do I have to go back to my country until adjusted? Well, you can't adjust. You can't leave your country. If you file for adjustment of status, a green card in the United States, you got to stay here. You're locked in. If you go to a home country, there could be problems and delays and all sorts of different stuff. So, Lucy, if you have a good case, pending, but I just can't recommend that because I don't know more about your case. I can't advise you individually. First, download my guide, Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide at marriageimmigrationlaw.com. Then schedule a consultation with myself, my associate, and you and your fiance to get in more details of what exactly is going on, because we got to analyze your relationship history so the government knows the relationship is real, the financial history of the petitioner, your spouse, so you can support you, or for joint sponsors needed. Then we got to go into your background, arrest history. Obviously, you probably don't, but immigration history, all this different kind of things to make sure there's no problems there. My ear hurts, my baby, and he started learning how to yell recently, and he has no problem yelling in my ear. And he just did, right before the show started, and it's still ringing. It's been like 10 minutes. It's still ringing. That's having a baby for you. It's cute, but it's painful. So for those tuning in on TikTok and the best place you can tune in is on YouTube and ask questions there. That's the priority I put, because TikTok, it's got so much stuff going on the screen. It's hard to keep track of what's going on. Plus, we have a lot of people asking about how timelines are, so it's hard to keep track. So if you really want to make sure the best chances of being able to come on the show, either join the Facebook page for JK Law Firm or LinkedIn. LinkedIn is my personal LinkedIn, so John Khosravi, or the YouTube page, U.S. Immigration Talk. That's the best place to do it. Daryl Akim says, hi, John. Good platform here. My cousin filed the I-130, I-485 concurrently in May 6th. He just got approved for his I-130. When can we expect his I-485 to be approved? There's no expectations. Probably going to happen soon, but there's no expectations. Daryl asks, after giving birth to my child in the U.S. because of complications on a B-2 visa, I got Medicaid for my child to foot the bills. Now I'm returning to my country. Will this affect me when I re-enter the United States? It can. So if you're in the United States on a tourist visa, this is general. Daryl, we need to talk to you privately, so reach out. But generally, if someone's on a tourist visa and they visit the United States, have a child, and don't pay for the bill to get government support, it's a couple of years now that could be a reason that bans them from entry to the United States. But we got to see what's going on in your particular case, Daryl. Says, hey, John, I got the medical checkup RFE from the NBC. Is there a possibility that my interview will be waived? Yeah, most of the time if they request a medical checkup, the interview is going to be waived. Not 100% of the time, most of the time. Akim says, hey, his case was moved to New York Fields. I got a response. Yeah, so I don't know what to tell you, Akim, but you got to wait probably. Rojan asks, hi, John, I hope you're doing well. Since my husband acquires citizenship since my husband is acquiring citizenship next 3 or 4 months, I was wondering how this would impact my green card case. Expect or lead to a change? Yeah, it'll expect your case, because your green card case right now, it can always change. Right now, it's a 6-year wait for your green card case. So if one's going to citizen, it's like tremendously better that for your case. So that's that. Life of this Brown says, can a retired husband use as paid off home as affidavit petition for wife? You can use your assets like a paid off home, but it's very hard, especially if you're going through embassy processing, because they hassle you about this stuff. So they like to see someone who has a job 9 to 5, gets a pay stub and a W-2. If you bring assets into it, they'll want you to maybe do what is it when they come and check your house value? I forgot what it's called, an adjuster or something like that comes, checks the value. There's a lot of extra paperwork, and I've had it at the embassies where they don't want it. But it's very possible. It's in the regulations that it's allowed to use your assets like your house. But if you got to do it, but it's much better to have joint sponsor than just a regular paycheck. Joanne asked, hi, my I-130 is priority when I submitted my 485. your priority date is your I-130 priority date. It doesn't change once you have an I-45. The I-130 is the priority date that you're locked into. So we go on Instagram. Lil Hodges says, John, regarding the expedite request, is it true that the focus should be on the American citizen hardship, even if beneficiary is one suffering? No, it's just general. It could be about anybody. Pontia says, I'm applying for my P card. My dad has a divorce 50 years ago, but he has no document on the divorce. We just had the marriage certificate. My mom, how can I proceed? Well, that's a bad situation. Now, you have a Persian sounding name. It may mean your dad is Iranian. In the birth certificate for Iranians, the Shenosname, they're supposed to live divorces in there too. That could potentially as an alternative version of your divorce certificate, but you need it. If you don't have it, it's gonna be a major problem. That's something I don't even know if I have answers to. We have to look into what's going on there, but they want to see the divorces. Cindy says, hey, John, what about the petition of a citizen child at 21? Does it take longer, like the marriage case you said? Yeah, if child, I said at 21. So if a child's under 21, it's regular time. If it's over 21, it's backed up. It's backed up. And it depends on if they're married or single. Okay, so we have a question. Lulu says, I-131 was denied by USCIS based on incorrect facts on my I-94, a clear USCIS error. Now they want more money to reopen. My mother's 96 years old, dying in England. Advice. Why do you need an I-130? What kind of I-131 is it? And try contacting your senator or the ombudsman, or even call USCIS to fix it. It might be faster than paying for an I-290B, because I-290B is still going to take a while. So you kind of go when the government makes mistakes. A lot of lawyers even do this. They file from I-290B and pay a bunch of money to fix it, and it takes a while. The first thing I do, if you can find out sooner, is call USCIS. Try to contact the field office if possible. It's a local field office. Call them, email them. Then maybe get a senator involved or local congressperson, whoever's more active in immigration stuff. And then there's USCIS ombudsman that can help too. And try to get that all done in the next 15, 20. And if nothing happens, then do the I-290B or maybe refile the original case, depends. But I'm not sure why you need an I-131. If it's for advanced parole, there's no fee for that if it's based on a green card case. But I'm not exactly sure what's going on. Now, so I don't know why you're doing it. I-131 is to start with different kinds of documents I could have. So that's that. Rojan asks, thanks, John. I also have another question. Would it be better if I changed my residency from Iran to Canada since I have work permit to Canada? Rojan's original question, not much. So the reason why, I'm guessing, Rojan, you're not in the United States. And if you're overseas, if you're in Iran, you have to go to one of the U.S. embassies in Armenia, Turkey, or the UAE to be able to do your interview. Those are really backed up. It takes 1 to 2 years to get an interview. So if you're residing in Canada, you could go to Montreal, do your embassy interview there. However, Montreal is backlogged too, maybe like 10 months as opposed to a year and a half. So, but you got to live there. They base your interview on where you're living. So that's something you want to think about. We have a question right now on Instagram. Makta said, the naturalization interview, when an officer asked me if I need to change my name, I refused. Can I change my name at the oath ceremony? You can ask them, but I'm not sure every office does name changes. But ask them, see what they say, yes or no. Vish says, I filed a lawsuit by credit card company. Will this affect my application citizenship? Probably not, but I don't know the details of it, so I can't give you definite information. Sandeep says, can I travel to South America with a valid I-765 travel document? I-765 is a work permit, not a travel document. And I can't tell you if you can try. I don't know your whole case and why you would need this special permission to travel. EB3 and pending asylum, good luck with that. What are the job permissions so delayed? They're not for every case. I'm getting some improvement like a month and a half. Okay, we're getting repeat questions. It's TikTok, unfortunately. So user 7 says, any option have a legal entry in the U.S. and marry a U.S. citizen? Legal marriage can't change status. Most of the time, no. You have to request a waiver, go to the embassy. It's going to take years unless you have an exception like TPS or maybe or some other thing that gives you an exception to that. So we'd have to analyze your case, see what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to start. Unfortunately, if you get muted, it's nothing against you, but if you ask the same question over and over again, I'm going to mute you so it doesn't fill up my page full of the same question over again. So my apologies, but it make it hard for me to keep track of the show when you do that, so we got to just let you go. Okay, let's see. We got a lot of questions on TikTok. TikTok system for reading questions is so hard. It's like a million things going on and people repeat themselves. So it's really hard to see what's going on there. Lola says, my niece came to the U.S. 4 years ago. Can she start the documents? I don't know. That's not enough information. The general says, may I file for work permit or TPS? But I'm already approved by TPS. It's not too late to file it. No, if you have valid TPS, you can file for work permit. I'm a citizen. My mother entered a parole. Can I adjust status? Yeah. Can she adjust status? You mean? Yeah. Parolees can typically adjust status, but I need to know more information what's going on. As an LPR, how can I change my mom's status on a visitor visa as something long term? You can't yourself. Okay. How much time is USCIS to take RFE response? There's no time limit for that. Safru says a U.S. citizen daughter can apply for parent is faster, or a green card holder mom can apply for dad. U.S. citizen daughter applying for both is faster. Sometimes if you have younger children, as a strategy, we have like one parent file for the other. But it's faster as U.S. citizen child right now because of the backlogs and stuff like that. Okay, so Raful says I followed all these cases. Got to deny for okay. You got your I-131 denied. I don't know why. Doesn't I-131 denial affect I-485? I don't know because I don't know why you were denied and what you said. So Raul, I can't answer case specific stuff like that. Lulu says thank you. You're welcome. Let's just have a great day. You too. Okay, so husband is tax exempt due to his being IHSS member. To daughter, can that be a problem? I don't know. I got to review the case and what you're doing. Can I marry U.S. citizen F1 visa holder? Yeah, there's no problem with getting married as long as you're single and you're not already married. Sydney says, hey, John, follow-up question. Do you have another free interview for this month of August? Because I missed the last minute. So on Instagram had this new program called broadcasting. So I started saying once a month, there's free consultation session, first come, first serve, to fill up the spots. I'll try to set up a new one. I haven't had time. The problem that happened is like I had 5 interview times open, and out of the 5 of them didn't show up. So this is why, we don't give free consultations. And you ask people, professionals in this industry for immigration, whenever I give free consultations, the no-show rate is like 70%. I'm just sitting there. But if you pay, you're going to show up. And so a lot of it is psychological. Make sure you show up because just took opportunity from other people and for me, from being my family, work and stuff. So I'll post another one with less times available because I spend a lot of hours on these free consultations where people don't show up. And it's just hard because I've work to do. I have other people relying on me. But we'll do another. So if you join us on Instagram, JQK Law Firm, I'll announce a free consultation day where you can book a time. So just find me over there and add, and we can take it from there. C-Son says, what's the best way to get a U.S. citizenship as an international student on F1 visa? Well, you got to be a green card holder first before you get U.S. citizenship, unless like join the military or something. So the best way, there's no best way, whatever is appropriate for your case. Some people, one option is go, some people is another. Depends on the personal circumstances. Maktani says, I become a citizen. I applied my spouse case. My permanent resident has been at the embassy for 2 years. How can I inform my status? You just got to contact the embassy as a portal. You contact them. The delay may be due to the embassy you're working with, but just contact them. Aisha says, I'm a citizen. Applying for my mom. Change the status. How long is the wait? It varies. Is Hep B an issue for immigrant visa medical? No, Hep B is not, but it's not listed as the things that'll prevent you from getting a green card. Jawi says, sorry, question. What is going on? Pakistan embassy. I'm waiting for my wife. Yeah, Pakistan embassy is so overbooked right now, from what I've heard. I don't know personally, but someone told me that they're handling a lot of the Afghan cases, so they're overwhelmed. So if probably the most backed up embassy there is in all the world is in Pakistan right now, and it's a tragedy because you have a U.S. citizen person marrying a person in Pakistan, and they're waiting for an interview going 2 years, 2.5 years, and they're just not scheduling interviews. It's pretty catastrophic. Let's see, David, what is the best? So we answered that. Let me mute some more people. Okay. I'm a citizen. Yeah. Okay. Married to U.S. citizen for 11 years. Just submitted my AOS app adjustment status. How long before he's citizen? First, you got to get a green card. So I don't know. Let's see. Lulu says, I requested an expedition on my I-131, which is submitted to get the adjustment status so I could travel to England to my mom. So I'm not sure why you paid money, Lulu, based on your clear now or now. Well, actually, you're referencing paying money for the I-290B. So I don't think there even is an I-290B for I-131, but you got to see why it was denied and call them and try to fix it up beforehand, or just refile a new I-131. Okay. Can I study CPA if I'm on postgraduate work permit in Canada? I don't know. I'm not a Canadian immigration lawyer. Okay, so let's go back a little bit. I skipped a lot of questions. Can you travel with advanced parole recreationally? Yes. Um, how can I work for an immigration firm? You reach out to them and let them know how much value and expertise you can bring to help them out, Ionia. Jenna said, how much is consult? It's several $100s, depending on the attorney you want to talk with. But if you go to if you go to our JK Law contact page, it's listed there, or email us and we take from there. Malson, how to change from M1 to F1? Is it possible just by staying in the US? I need a full guide, please. You schedule a consultation, we get into it, but you file for change of status. You got to get an I-20 from a school and you change of status. User 800 says, married. I'm not sure if M1 to F1 these changes. Yeah, it doesn't. It's the visa category does. Yeah. User says, married U.S. citizen. Okay, I already answered that question. Sarah says, question, my dad was deported 20 years ago, and every time he files, he gets no visa. What can he do? Yeah, it depends on why he was deported, but it's going to be almost possible to get a tourist visa. You got to see if you could fix the underlying case or not. Okay, we got 8 minutes. Llama. Okay, we got it. Leona says, thank you for giving us advice. Congratulations on the baby. Thank you. Therefore, is it true that marriage petitions with U.S. citizens and no green card is going faster than others? Yeah, that's always been the case. Lama says, I got an RFP that the doc who signed my medical exam is not on their list. I checked on USCIS page and he is on the list. What can I do? Well, respond to the RFP with a printout from the website and say he is, and maybe confirm with the doctor. Mike says, is F2A and F21 the same? I think it is. I'm not sure. But F2A is, spouse or minor child of a green card holder. I think F21 is the spouse of a green card holder the category. On the visa, that's how it looks like. I'm not 100% positive. I got to look it up. How to change. Sorry, I'm trying to read some stuff on TikTok, but it's just so difficult to go through questions on here. Okay, Bruno, is a lawyer needed to begin the marriage green card process, or can I just go to immigration office in LA? So if you're asking that question, you probably better have an immigration lawyer. That's probably in your case will be needed. But check out my guide, marriageimmigrationlaw.com, marriageimmigrationlaw.com. If J1 is revoked, will I lose my current training? I'm not sure what that means. Ari says, my lawyer is $3,000 to file an expedition for I-131. Everyone's got different prices, but that's kind of for expedite request. Just call your own and tell them the reason. But I'm not sure why you need to pay $3,000, but I don't know. Maybe it's doing something special, have some sort of hookup or something. I don't know. Josh says, why is the embassy asking for proof of domicile? Is this something to worry about? Yeah, it's a major thing to worry about, Josh. So when you're doing the green card process for a family case, you have to submit an affidavit of support. The U.S. petitioner and any financial sponsors have to provide their financial documents, but also show that they're living in the United States, they're domiciled here. And if they're not going to move the case forward. Now, there's an exception that says you could tell the consular officer that like let's say you're a husband applying for a wife, but the husband's living with the wife outside the United States. Their regulations say that you could tell the consular officer, hey, listen, as soon as the visa is approved, I'm going to move to the U.S. with my wife. Now, the rules say that, but in practice, they don't really do that, especially if you're from anywhere from Northern Europe. And even Northern Europe, they'll want to see like a ticket to show that you're leaving. But the domicile is required. You got to show you're living here. If you're not, they may not move the case forward. Then you can tell them, hey, move the case forward to the embassy. I'll move to the U.S. before the interview happens or while the interview is happening. But it's going to be a snag in your case. So eventually you have to find yourself here in the United States or close to it before they'll approve your case. And it depends on the consular officer you're dealing with and the officer you're dealing with. Lulu, at this point, you got a lot of questions about this expedite. There's not much I can help you with here without getting my hands deep into the case, but I wish you best of luck on seeing your mom. I'm sorry to hear about the bad info, what happened. If you want to know our consultation fees, you got to email the office and briefly describe your case situation, and we'll break it down there. Email info@jqklaw.com. Can I apply for adjustment of status if I'm in legal proceedings but I don't have a court date? You got to close the case or adjust in court. So maybe, but it's work you have to do to be able to do that. It's been 2 years of marriage. I-130 application. I received the RFP medical. That means they want you to send the medical checkup. That's what that means. How do I apply for my citizenship? I'm in the U.S. My child's in Pakistan. How do I apply for my citizenship? Well, if you're a green card holder, you apply for citizenship. I'm not sure why your child in Pakistan has to do with it. How long does it take to get a green card to file a green card on U.S. visa status? I don't know. What if spouse is born in Africa and does not know all their vaccines at birth? Well, they'll just get new vaccines. Bruno says, appreciate your help. You're welcome. I751, second interview done more than a year and a half, still no decision. What I have to do? Well, they're doing an investigation to your case probably because you didn't do well at the interview. So you kind of probably have to wait to see what they say. And you can sue them for delay and stuff like that. But they're probably doing an investigation to your spouse, see if you're really a couple. Can I petition my sister-in-law to come to America? My brother passed away a few years ago. Sorry about that. No, there's no direct relationship with those. You can't petition for them. How long does it take to get a green card after I receive my work authorization? There's no connection between the timelines of those two documents. And Leon says, I married my husband in Greece this March. He's an American citizen. How much might take our petition to be approved without expedite? The petition is going to probably take a year. I don't know about the rest of it. Law says, any idea why they asked for evidence of employment, the RFE? I don't know your case. I can't advise on that. I don't know what your case is about. Now, I'm looking down so much to look at the phones. That's where most of the questions are coming. I got to change my camera spot because on YouTube, all people are saying is my forehead and stuff is going to look weird having a video like that. So next time, remember, move the camera to the bottom or move the phones up somehow. I had phone stands, but they broke, so I can't have it, but I probably should have phone stands so I don't look down so much. I'll move one of the phones up so it looks better for a video on YouTube. At least I'm not staring all the way down. So let me see how I can do it without the camera being weird. All right, so behind the scenes stuff. Sorry. So how can I get a quick RFE response? You can't. Okay. So let's see what questions. Oh, it says, sir, my son's IR2 immigrant visa expired before he can travel. What to do? You got to contact the embassy to see if you could get it longer. It sucks that happened. I'm in the U.S., 21 years. Can I file adjustment status? I don't know your case. I don't know what's going on. Sarah says, I've been to every lawyer. No one can help. Sorry. I don't know, Sarah. Sorry about that. Does emailing congressperson help? It used to, less and less nowadays. So on that sad note, thank you for joining us. If y'all want to talk about your case, the best thing to do is talk in private. Email the office and briefly describe your immigration situation. We'll take it from there. The email is info@jqqlaw.com. If you're catching us on TikTok or everyone else, follow us on Instagram. I'm giving away free consultations. Every month I'll have a free consultation day there. I'll have to set it up. Thanks for reminding me, one of our viewers, and take it from that. So thank you very much, and we'll leave it there. See you next Tuesday. God bless. Be safe.